There he is, wringing his hands over there. Look at the butler.
Baroness's butler looks like he didn't get much sleep. I would describe his facial expression as worried.
He is jobless. That's kind of harsh, but I mean, you know, you gotta pay the rent somehow. Man's gotta pay the bills. And he's probably living in her mansion, so he's gotta find a place to live. That's...
Constable, hello.
You look the worse for wear. It must be terrible for you.
Quite terrible. No
See,
one will
told
hire
you.
me now.
Excuse me?
My mistress was murdered. Would you hire a butler who's been mixed up in a murder?
But if it turns out that you're not guilty...
If. But what if not? Who else would they blame? There are no gardeners on this ship.
Are gardeners usually the guilty murdering
Under
party?
these circumstances, I'm sure you'd answer some questions that could help clear your name, wouldn't you?
Of course.
Alright, I do like him. Let's talk about last
Did
night.
you notice anything suspicious last night?
No, sir. After the Baroness went to the saloon, I went to the forecastle. I was there until the alarm went off. I went to the side deck and arrived shortly after Professor Lucien and Miss Miller. We found you and Inspector Legrand there. You were unconscious, and the inspector asked us to take care of you.
Wow, all kinds of stuff. Sure about the gunshot?
Did you hear the gunshot?
Either one of them? There were two,
Just
you know.
an alarm, sir.
You said you were on the forecastle. It sounded like the Baroness...
Did we hear an
left the
alarm?
rest of the
I
night
heard
off.
the...
Not
I guess we... I don't know.
entirely,
Heard the
sir.
gunshot.
One of the crew informed me that the Baroness wanted to be roused at 10:15.
Right. Why was that?
I suppose that she wanted to toast the success of the journey with the captain and the other passengers.
Good
She
assumption.
hadn't intended to take a nap then.
That was not her way, sir. She had a lot of spirit, shall we say, when it came to social engagements and a glass or two of champagne.
Bottle or two. So that's what that
The
cabin.
Baroness's cabin seems to have been ransacked.
Not really, though.
Sir, by the Baroness herself.
It really looked very
Really?
together.
She was searching for something the entire afternoon.
And did she find it?
I think she did, sir, yes. She was in high spirits when she finally left her cabin.
You wouldn't happen to
Interesting.
know what she was looking for, would you?
I'm afraid not.
Maybe it's in that vase. Is she an orderly woman? Is that surprising
Would you
that she
describe the Baroness as
losing her
orderly?
stuff?
Well, she always had a lot of responsibilities, sir.
That doesn't answer my question.
At all.
She used to take a lot of luggage on journeys, and I helped her keep track of it as best I could. She was always very angry when she couldn't find something.
What about the photos and the documents I saw in her cabin?
I really don't know. They were out of bounds to me, sir. Memories from the war, I'd say. They meant a lot to her.
Interesting. So that's about liquor.
The Baroness seemed to
I
be
think he already
pretty
answered
drunk
this,
the
but
last
let's go
time
with
I
it.
saw her.
Is that so?
Does that surprise you? Did the Baroness not drink?
Oh, yes, she drank. It was no secret.
I understand. How serious was her habit?
Serious enough, sir.
Was she under any medical supervision?
Certainly not, sir. She
You already said that.
adamantly refused to see a doctor. Like so many elderly women, she had a distinct aversion to hospitals and the
I can
like.
understand that. So what's it like to work
long
for?
had you worked
Oh,
for
how
the
long?
Baroness?
Whoops.
6
Look, I
months,
guessed.
sir.
I don't know.
Only 6
That's
months? I always thought that butlers stayed with their employers for decades.
Those decades.
Well, the
had
last
to
ones,
start at
you know,
some
died in a
point,
fire, so...
Constable. Her former butler wasn't able to fulfill his duties any longer. Gout,
Ugh.
sir.
I
Harsh.
understand.
I took on his duties and hoped for a secure position for the next 20 years.
Yeah, stiff arm.
May
What?
I ask
Oh.
what happened to your arm?
What, you gonna, like, tackle somebody? What are you doing?
Souvenir from the war, sir.
Doesn't it hinder your work?
Yes, sir, obviously.
I didn't...
Yeah, no,
mean
stop being
to
a
offend
jerk.
you.
The Baroness had a soft spot for disabled veterans. I think she'd been through a lot herself.
I think that's all for now.
Please, sir, find the murderer. You have to clear me of all suspicion.
I wonder if he's guilty too, like his stiff arm isn't really a stiff arm, like he's really got like a metal pipe, in his jacket. I'm just saying. Anything else around here we can look at? I don't want to go back downstairs to see Legrand. Just look at this globe. I don't know why. Because it's got a
antique wooden globe. If
icon
Galileo
on it.
hadn't asserted himself back then, this would be a flat disc now.
No, it wouldn't. It'd be fine.
Nicely shows that 4/5 of the Earth's surface is covered by water. Looking out the window, I'd call that an understatement.
So upon perception, I do believe. Let's go out here. Let's go to the saloon. Now we got the captain here. Anything we can look at before we talk to him? I do not see anything of interest. We got an ice bucket. Let's take this ice bucket. Because why not steal from a captain while he's sitting right
The
there?
alcoholic drinks and everything that goes with them is top-notch on this ship.
Okay, so open the ice bucket.
As expected, fresh ice and tongs.
Well, yeah, you need tongs. Can't be putting your filthy grubber hands in the ice.
What is the meaning of this? Are even the police light-fingered nowadays?
I love that he called you out.
I need this tool for a criminal investigation.
Well, then, why didn't you say so? So,
Because I'm weird.
how are you getting along? Can I be of any help?
Actually, you could answer a few questions.
Excuse me. Let's see. Events last night. Poison champagne. I got that from the doctor. We know I did.
What was your experience of last night?
Man is guilty.
Terrible.
That's true.
It was fantastic. Everyone was excited about having a pleasant drink under the stars.
I know I was.
And then this.
You were in the saloon all night long.
It's the best place to be.
I have to care for my passengers. After
And this
you
bottle of
and the
rum.
others rushed out, I tried to maintain a festive atmosphere. But when the alarm goes off, I lose the battle.
Alright, the Baroness, start with the alarm.
Is it possible to find out where the alarm was set off?
I'm afraid not. There are alarms all over the ship.
I saw that they're sealed. Can't we just check whether the seal is broken?
I'm afraid they're gonna be missing on a lot of alarms. You know, this is an old ship, and over the years...
So, you're saying that the alarms haven't been regularly maintained?
I'll inform the crew immediately, of course.
I don't actually care now. Too late. Too late. Let's talk about the Baroness.
How was the Baroness?
Drunk.
She really surprised me. After she was so unapproachable at the reception and didn't show her face for the entire afternoon, I was afraid she was one of the bores and bourgeoisie. But then she arrived
those
in the
bourgeoisie.
evening in the best of moods.
Yeah, man. She knew who the killer was.
If you know what I mean.
Did she say anything to you?
She asked me
I know she was faking.
where Legrand's cabin was. I told her, then invited her to come for drinks in the evening. I said,
Why are
it
you
would be
quoting
great
drinks?
fun. The whole ship will be there, and you don't want to miss that, I told her.
And then?
She seemed to like the idea. She smiled, and then left again for a few minutes. Then she came back and seemed very happy. We drank a toast to life.
Toast to life. So she seemed tired?
But at some point she didn't feel well anymore?
She overdid it a bit. She suddenly
bit.
started to swoon and almost spilled her drink. I
Or she was
asked her
poisoned.
if she wanted to rest for a moment in her cabin. At first, she didn't want to. She definitely wanted to stay in the saloon. But then she realized that she really did need to lie down. We left together. You know the rest of the story.
Confused.
Drink from the same bottle of champagne last
There's a lot of red herrings in this
There was
game.
more than one bottle, if that's what you mean. There were quite a few guests, and the event lasted several hours.
The last bottle of champagne, the one the Baroness drank from, did anyone else drink from it?
Certainly.
We have reason to believe
Right.
that the champagne was drugged.
Incredible. But wouldn't that have made everyone drowsy?
Not if it was only the Baroness's glass that was drugged.
I see. That's possible. On a night like that, many glasses are filled and emptied. There are several stewards, many guests. No one keeps track of every glass and every bottle.
Right, it would be very simple.
In a glass?
Yes.
By a doctor who knew how to do it? Telling you. My glass
The
was.
glass you handed me last night. Where did you get it?
Ah, I understand. You think your glass was poisoned as well?
Got it from the doctor.
No. I saw that you weren't doing so well and wanted to rescue the situation. I took the first available glass and I give it to you.
Was it on the table?
No, I hurry over to you, together with Dr. Gebhardt, who, of course,
Handed you
had the
his.
glass in his
There
hand.
it is.
He was looking around for a place to set it down so that he could examine you. I took it from him.
And gave it to me.
I'd like to apologize for that, but you look so worse for the wear, and I just wanted to comfort you. I didn't think of looking for a new glass for you.
So the doctor had the drugged glass in his hand.
Which could mean he did it, or it could mean they were trying to drug him, or the captain, or, but probably not the captain. Probably either the doctor did it, drugged it, or they were trying to drug the doctor.
What can you tell
Right.
me about the passengers?
Oh, not that much, I'm afraid. I wanted to get to know them properly at the reception. In most cases, I just shook hands with them as they boarded the ship. There are a few regulars on board, and after dinner, I had a conversation with Mr. Kreutzer, a
Oh, we know
talented
him.
violinist, and
thief.
Lady Westmacott. But
Agatha
you
Christie,
already
yes.
know them from the train.
It seems like there aren't that many passengers on board.
These bloody airplanes are making our lives miserable. Can you imagine? Grown men prefer to jam themselves into a narrow metal coffins instead of enjoying the fresh sea air on a ship.
It's all about saving time.
It shouldn't be about how much time it takes to get from A to B, but about how you spend that time. What
There you go.
experience on the journey. That's what it's about.
I'll get back to my investigations now.
That is the way you pitch it if you're running a cruise liner and not an airliner. So that they brought up the doctor having the glass, like they explicitly talked about that, makes me trust the doctor more than I did.
Lady Westmacott.
If they weren't
seems to
obvious
be
about it, then I'd be like, "Yes, doctor." Now I'm like, "Oh man, maybe the doctor's a red herring too."
I saw a twinkle in her eye on the train. She's eager to be part of a real detective story.
He's in one now. Saw it to her. It's on the table.
Lady Westmacott. Already on your... Oh,
Constable, don't you think before you speak?
Nope.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Hat and all game.
No time for chit-chat. What have you found out?
We're still working on the case. Actually, I have a couple of questions for you.
Please, go ahead.
Let's talk about the Baroness.
Have you noticed anything related to the murder?
Unfortunately not. I was already in my cabin and missed all the commotion. Damnable old age.
You're telling me.
Oh, you're still young. At my age, you have to expect that you won't experience much anymore. And although I've written about murder so many times, I've never actually witnessed one. How exciting.
I doubt
Wow.
everyone is so relaxed in such a situation.
Heartless is the word you're searching for, right,
Yes,
Constable?
actually.
I certainly didn't want the
Actually
Baroness
is.
to be murdered. But if I can't undo it, then I might as well enjoy it.
That's an attitude to have.
What
Okay.
did you think of our
Ugh.
adventure on the train? An extraordinary story, isn't it?
I'm glad that you were able to prove yourself, Mr. Zellner.
Me too.
Hopefully not for the last time.
I'm glad that everything ended well. I want to thank you sincerely for taking care of Matthew. I can't
But is
bear
that
to
it?
think about something happening to him.
It all worked out in the
With
end.
the predicate? Talk about this jewel
Do you
thief.
think that the
Thief.
from the train and the murderer are the same person?
Yes.
I think the new Raven is capable of anything.
Legrand believes there is no new Raven. He
Legrand's
thinks
an
that
idiot.
The old one has returned.
He said that.
Do you think it's possible? Everyone thinks he's dead.
I think he's retired.
Noticed, the return of the Raven would certainly be delightful. A legend comes back from the grave for one last job. It's quite romantic. At the same time, though, I'd be disappointed.
Why is that?
I followed the Raven's career closely. There weren't many burglars with such character and charm. His burglaries were clever and entertaining, but he was sloppy in London. He almost got caught. And I'll never forgive him for the affair on the train. No, I would much rather that the Raven stayed dead and had nothing to do with the burglary or the murder.
Yep. I think it's his kid.
What do you think? Who
Oh, yeah,
is
Raven's
our
got a son,
suspect?
daughter, or something.
Everyone, or almost everyone.
Me too, Agatha.
Everyone on board is physically capable of shooting someone.
I think you're all guilty.
Who has the dark desire to take the life of a defenseless person?
One cannot read minds.
And one should not try. You have to collect evidence, traces, clues. That's what will lead us to the killer.
I know.
It won't be like a bad
I've seen
crime
CSI.
novel in which they introduce a new character shortly before the end who, surprise, surprise, is also the murderer.
Murderers leave evidence. They're nervous or unnaturally relaxed. They have to adjust constantly.
And because of that, they make mistakes. This is your chance, Constable. If you find the mistake, you'll find your murderer.
What do you think of Inspector Legrand?
He's guilty.
Seems to be as skilled as everyone says.
I think everybody's guilty. All of them.
Focused.
It's a group heist like Ocean's
I met
11.
him yesterday, and he impressed me, but there's something haunted in his eyes.
I don't think he ever really stopped hunting
He
the
thinks he
Raven.
murdered the wrong
Catching
guy.
the Raven made him famous. What if he
Exactly.
actually shot the wrong person?
Exactly.
Unjustified fame bothers people, the good ones at least.
And
Forget
you
the
think
fame.
he's one of
Shooting
good
the
ones.
wrong
Anyone
dude
who
should
tries
bother
so
you.
hard to tear down his own memorial must be honourable. Or insane.
There you go.
I have to be going,
Guilty.
Lady Westmacott.
Please keep me informed, Constable Zellner.
Of course.
So you can tell your mob boss. What's we got? Enter the after deck. I don't really care about that yet. Let's go back. We got some tongs, right? Yes? Yes. Okay. Let's go back to the room with the vase in it and see if we can use the tongs on that, on the vase. It is not, those tongs are not long enough for that thing, but, you know, game. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it is okay. Alright, so we've got some tongs. Use these on here. Just say use pliers.
Work. There's something in there. Ah.
What's that?
Someone
Pillowcase
stuck
looks like.
this in the vase. Looks like it's been used to muffle a gunshot. If this isn't an
Didn't do
important
very good
discovery,
job.
I don't know what is.
We all heard the gunshot.
Legrand, here I come.
Alright, so it's saying go to see Legrand then, I guess. Pillowcase with burn marks. Is that why the down feathers had burn marks? Because they were in the, they used a pillow? So where's the rest of the pillow? Huh? Alright, I didn't try to put the tape reel in here. Can I do that? No. I was going to try to play it and see if, you know, she recorded something. See if she recorded something impressive. So he said, Legrand, here I come. Let's go see Legrand. Let's do this thing.
A singed pillowcase is proof that there must have been a second gunshot.
You let me control it, man.
Inspector?